Greetings and welcome to another episode of the Planetary Persuader. I am Cosmic Kev, your host, and this is for the week beginning October 2nd, 2020, folks. October 2nd, Friday. Yes. Yes, indeed. So, what do we got going on today? Well, we have a moon in... where is the moon? We just had a full moon yesterday, so I guess the moon's in Revati. And Revati is the ending and beginning of things. And it deals with roads, watches, calendars. It's ruled by Mercury. It's also the nakshatra where Venus is exalted in the sidereal Vedic zodiac. So that's, where the moon is at today. So it's in the constellation of Pisces. It's in the sign of Aries. And like I warned you last week, be careful out there with this Aries moon. Moon and Mars are together, folks, and there's not much more I can say. That 8:57 p.m. tonight, West Coast time. So, you add attitude, people being isolated too much, and a little alcohol in the mix, it can get pretty crazy. So, be careful, friends. That's all I want to say. Beyond that, we are... Mercury is going to be in a shadow period because it's going to go retrograde in a couple weeks. We got 2 weeks before Mercury goes retrograde. Pluto, on the other hand, goes direct this week on Sunday. Actually, that should be pretty good. I think especially if you're like a Scorpio rising or a Scorpio moon or even sun sign in Scorpio, you'll probably notice when Pluto goes direct, you'll feel like a sense of relief, like, whew. All right, it's not like I have this nail snagging my snake skin I'm trying to get out of, I've loosened it, the snake skin is going to shed, and new skin's going to form, and we're going to be beautiful again, and everything's going to be happy. So, remember happy? I remember happy. I like happy. So, let's just focus that this week, even though it is a waning moon, we're going to have a happy horoscope, folks. There's just been too much sadness. I'm done with sadness. I mean, it's still there with me, and my heart goes out to you if you are in there in that sad place. But let's just lift each other up, and let's try and have a really, really good time. So, beginning with you, Aries. So, greetings, Aries. Welcome to your horoscope. I mean, you got the power. You're moving through this. You're moving directly. Libra time, in general, is a relationship time for you. And Mars and the Sun work really well together. One thing about Aries and relationships is that Aries is really good at being for them, They're good at taking care of themselves. Which is the first component in a good relationship. But when it comes to compromise, it sort of opposes them. And so, in a way, they become a worse lover or a worse person to relate to because there has to be a sharing. So if you're an Aries that's able to share, and there are Aries that are able to share, I mean, let's face it, folks, we are not just one sign. We've got all the signs of the zodiac, each and every one of us. You have a problem with one of them, that's a problem that you have in your life in one area. That's all. So, we've got Pluto, Moon, Saturn, all up there, Jupiter and the Moon. Actually, not the Moon. Moon is Moon is in your first house with Mars. And so, man, these fires, they've got to stop. So the Moon with Mars, it helps cool it. It cools down the energy a little bit. And Mars is retrograde. And the Moon is about our thoughts. So being more thoughtful tonight. Even though there's a lot of tension maybe at your workplace or just with you being in public, you've met some pretty crazy people out there. A lot of people aren't getting their needs met. They're not being taken care of. And at times we could all use a little extra care. This would not be a time I would be investing money. Maybe it's a good idea. I'm not sure, but it's a real gamble. And I think right now the best you could do is be a sweetheart and be grateful for the good relationships you do have in your life right now, because they mean everything. Okay. Greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. So for you, it's like, well, Moon's about to go into Taurus on Saturday. So on Saturday, by Saturday night, you'll be feeling a lot more like, okay, I'm myself, I got my groove on. But until then, I'd say, it's Friday, maybe just lay low a little bit. But you've got some fortunate things happening. Even though Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter, Jupiter's a great teacher. And, if you have problems with your teachers, if you have problems with your father, this would be the time to work out those things, and make it better for yourself. You're in a creative space, too. If you're having issues with your children, or female children in particular, this is the time to make those go better. Your love life should flourish. You're a great sweet talker at this time. And it'd be easy to be in a karmic relationship. And you got to work on health issues too. You got to get yourself healthier in the fall so you can get through the winter. Okay. Simple as that. Well, greetings, Gemini, and welcome to your horoscope. Well, what do we got going on? So, we've got the sun in the 5th house, so that focuses you on your creative projects, on your children. If you're a parent, particularly a father, parenting and teaching for teachers, all of those things go a little better as the sun transits the 5th house. We've got Mars and the moon this Friday night in the 11th house, the party house. And sometimes the moon can cool down Mars a little bit when moon aligns with Mars, or it could go wacky tobacco. I'm in the mood for a fight. There's sometimes some people want to fight once in a while. It's fun for them, and so I'm sure if that's what you want to do, you'll have no problem manifesting that. There's a lot of transformation with Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. Saturn now direct, running in your 8th house. So it's a little bit about letting go of things, and you're honoring your personal space, and it's like, I like that the sun is being hemmed in by Venus and Mercury right now, because they're creating both intelligence and love. Like intelligence and love, these are the two things we need to be working with right now. Who would disagree with that, right? Okay. So, greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. Now for you, it's like, in relationships, I want a miracle. I feel like I'm in a hard place, a difficult place, but I'm also in a spiritual place. I'm in a place that's enticing and unpredictable too, and I don't know exactly where this transformation is going to go. But yeah, your relationship's going to change a little bit just with Pluto going direct. I really think so, in your 7th house for Cancer. So, and let's think about when Pluto used to be in Cancer. That was like in the 1930s, late 20s, 30s, depression and whatnot. And boy, what a crazy time that was with fascism and whatever. And now we're like at the opposite end of it, and we're like, we need to look at this stuff and say, once again, because we got Uranus back in that position where it was back in the 30s, and it's like, oh my gosh, are they really serious about being like this? And it's like, yeah, I guess so. You just don't, people, can't live with them, can't shoot them. Your whole mentality is, let's create an inner space, a nice home, where we're happy. And so, if we start there, then we can move out in the world, and maybe we could create this happiness like a spiral, coming out of our homes, to our neighbors, to our community. And suddenly the world is full of like tasty baked goods and great delicious meals and casseroles and flowers everywhere and happy children singing. And if they lived happily ever after, amen. Okay. Greetings, Leo. Welcome to your horoscope. So, Libra time is like, it's the debilitated sun, because this is where the sun is going down. This is the sunset of the zodiac, and you're like, oh no. I was having so much fun with summer play and the sun ruling in spring and summer, and now it's fall. It's like the sun is falling. It's going away. Yeah, well, if you live in a really hot place, you're like, thank God it's going away. We've had enough of it. If you live in a really cold place, you're like, oh no. And I mean, it's a hassle too, because it's like sunlight, you get to see everything. And when you get to, the more time you have to see things, there's just a sense of leisure. And when you have a limited time of sunlight, it's not a time to sleep in the day, folks. Every bit of light is precious, and so you want to get up and take advantage of every bit of light you have, and so you got to do that. And Mercury's in the 4th house. That's good for history. It's good for research. Venus is in the 2nd, so you want to spend money, but you also want to buy luxury items. It's kind of a hard way to go. You definitely want to work on health issues, organization issues with Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto over there in the 6th house. Mars and the Moon this weekend. I mean, I could see you taking off and enjoying a trip somewhere and just, maybe breathing some nice ocean air or desert air where there's some place where there's nothing to burn. Yeah, the people in the eastern half of the country, they have no idea what's going on. They're just like, well, there's too much rain and it's muggy. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, we're going to Virgo now. Hello, Virgo. And you continue to look good with Venus in the 1st house. You gotta love it. Even if it is a debilitated Venus, it's like, as long as you are aware that you can be compassionate and complimentary and look for the good in things, you'll be fine. If you're trying to improve and make everything better, that doesn't work in love. Love is, it's you kind of have to be a bliss ninny, really, to make it work. And I think with Pisces ruling your 7th house and Neptune being there right now, you learn that. And sometimes you can get like in spiritual bliss with somebody. I mean, a spiritual relationship could work on the, fix the physical and mental and emotional, all those things. And Mars and Moon in the 8th house. I mean, that's other people's property. It's karma. It's a good place for doing spiritual work, trusting your intuition, working with astrology, tarot, whatever, your prayer life, honoring the dead, honoring the new life coming in. But beyond that, it's like lay low. Other people have the power. You've got, Jupiter in the 5th house, so you're loving your children, loving the teachings, loving your ability to travel, to run a business, to be creative, all of that should work. I mean, Saturn being direct, it should help with long-term projects, like now you want to do them finally. Yeah. It took a while, I know. And money's coming in, it's a good money horoscope for, I would say, for Virgo. Okay, well, greetings, Libra. Welcome to your horoscope and happy birthday. I want to wish a very happy birthday to my friend Brent Clark, who has helped me a lot in doing certain things, and Jeffrey House, who's having a birthday this week. I want to say happy birthday to Jeffrey, and everyone I know who is born in that first week of October. Live large and prosper. Joey Haney, happy birthday to you too. So anyhow, we've got Mercury in the 2nd house, so talking about deep stuff, because Mercury's in Scorpio, and deepening your relationships with your family members. That's part of this. Venus is in the 12th house, the house of the bedroom, the house of secrets, the house of the sleep. Yeah, I mean, in the worst mundane case scenario, it's, the biatch in the office that wants to have your job. It's a secret love affair you're on. Nobody knows about it. It's so exciting. And we know it's going to blow up in your face, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll deal with that later. You know, Virgos are great at cleaning up messes anyhow, so it's not a big deal. You know, and you'll get a Virgo to do it for you. Meanwhile, here we are with the moon in the 7th house and Mars. It could be a really lusty, romantic weekend, at least initially. And, you know, you got to find out how your spiritual life and meditation relates to your ability to stay healthy. Right? I kind of think that's true. And that there's a lot of things in like your 4th house of fixed assets, your home, your car that you need to deal with. It might be time. This week might be time. You got to deal with it. All right. Let's talk Scorpio talk here. Greetings, Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope. First of all, Mercury in the 1st house makes you smart. We love it. Do the right thing. Do the smart thing. Libra time is not a great time for Scorpio. I mean, in general, because it's like, this is 12th house transit. 12th house is a house of loss, you know, and isolation and wilderness. Now, you have all these interesting neighbors and interesting siblings and friends from back in high school, cousins, people you knew, and they're a little bit part of your life right now. Get down to some good writing. You can write about what happened in your neighborhood. So I was telling my loved one, you know, write about your neighborhood. This is interesting. People make noise here all the time. They drive crazy. Let's see. We've got Neptune in the 5th house, opening yourself up to spiritual teachings, giving us spiritual principles, teaching those to your children, super important. Working out this weekend, helping yourself get healthier, realizing the weirdness of a relationship that you're in and just being okay with that, and realizing that you have a hunger for more. And we've also got Venus in the 11th house. So I talked about this last week. Kind of makes you sort of flirty, want to go to parties. But, you know, it's just say lay low, focus on the spiritual life, Scorpio. Alright, reading Sagittarius, welcome to your horoscope. You know, Jupiter's in the 2nd house, that can bring wealth. But Saturn could restrict it or make it wealth that's real, that lasts. And Pluto could transform that wealth into something bigger and better. So good things could happen. I mean, Venus even brings her own kind of Lakshmi wealth energy with beauty, with peacemaking, justice making, also with looking good, you know, at work. You're just making things look good around your workplace. Your social life is good. There's good people around you that want to help you. You're getting messages and dreams you should pay attention to. There's a lot of karma in whatever relationships you're in because of the nodal axis. And, you know, it's north and south node in the 1st house. This looks like a really fun weekend, at least Friday. Because of the moon in your 5th house with Mars, you're like, yeah, I'm ready to party. I'm ready to blow off steam, have some fun. But, you know, pay attention to those grounding points, you know. And I think especially now that, you know, Venus and Neptune are going to get closer and closer to opposition with each other, you're going to, it's like, how do we negotiate a higher love? You know, that's the question. All right, Capricorn, greetings. Welcome to your horoscope. Why are we at this place? Because we worked hard to get there. What are the problems with the world? Well, I'll illustrate it. One is that we're all in the same boat together here on the world. There's a big leak in the boat, and we're all sinking. And our leaders and powers that be want to paint the boat before we fix the leak. Paint the boat before we fix the leak while we're sinking. This is going to have dire consequences, and many of us are aware of this, and we're called rebels and troublemakers. We want to fix the boat so we can all live. Why does that make us a troublemaker? And you want to paint it so we can ignore the actual problem that's there. That doesn't make sense to me. All right. The other thing is, you know, it's like about capitalism. It's like we're treating the whole world, the whole planet, like it's one big piñata. and we're trying to grab all the candy before it's all gone after we beat it, and we're blindfolded with a stick. So we don't even know what we're doing to the planet. We're blindfolded. We're beating the planet with a stick, hoping we get all the candy out in time. You know, it's maddening. In Capricorn, you can do something about that. That's what I'm going to say. We'll leave it at that. Well, greetings, Aquarius, and welcome to your horoscope. I know you like the candy in the piñata. I get it. You know, so does Elon Musk, so does Bezos, so does Bill Gates. They all like the candy in the piñata. They all figure out new ways to get it. You know, if you're Trump or Biden, you just have your kids get it for you. Yeah, I know. Oh, don't be woke in these times. It's just like, it's scary. It makes you enemy. Okay, so Sun's in the 9th house for Aquarius. That's good. You've got the knowledge. You got the power. Mercury's on one side. Venus is on the other. That's great support for the Sun. And so the love is good. The intelligence is good. Your heart is good. You're good. You got a little karma to deal with, and you're willing to do it. You've been working on it all summer. You've been working on it all year. You're hoping to just move on ahead and be the center of attention, which you will be by the end of next year, probably. But right now, spiritual values, bring them to your family, bring them to what you eat. You know, don't eat unethically treated animals or their dairy products, you know. At least move to something more ethical. I'm not saying everybody be vegan, so I think that's a little bit ridiculous and doesn't really hold water evolutionarily as humankind, but, you know, it's fine. I do, you know, I'm not against it. I see people doing it for really good reasons. You've got a lot more courage this weekend. And, I mean, you're able to bring some real changes in the world. I mean, you're not in the most grounded, easy place of your life right now, but you got a lot of love in your heart, and you want to do something fun. And I think with that, you'll recruit the right people to help you with the project. Okay, we are at Pisces time, as we are in the wind-up in the pitch of this whole big thing. So, Libra time, what does it mean to Pisces? It's 8th house, you know. It's a place where we're not necessarily in power. It's a house of unjust rewards. Like inheritance, so if somebody dies and you get money, I mean, it's nice to have the money. It's usually sad that we're losing somebody that we loved. And even if we didn't love them, the fact they gave us something, we start thinking better thoughts about them, maybe. You've got Neptune in the 1st house. You know, you want spiritual fulfillment. You got Venus in the 7th house. People want to love you. You know, it's like that disco song from the 70s. Ah, love to love you, baby. Ah. It starts with all kinds of heavy breathing and stuff. Things were really free back then. Like, really free. People were free to get their freak on and do whatever. I mean, they are now, kind of. It's much more adversarial. Oh my God, you know, they were skinny dipping. That's sexual harassment. You know, I mean, it's like, we didn't think that in the 70s. We were just naked. I don't know. It's like, what's the problem? You know, but now it's like, oh my God, that's an opportunity to sue somebody. We're mad. We don't look that good naked. Let's go get them. No. You're jealous. No. Yeah, well, that's the naked truth, Pisces. No, you can have good relationships right now. I mean, there's a lot of transformation. I mean, 8th house is kind of a sexy house. And Mercury, though, in the 9th house shows an ability to be a better student of good spiritual teachings. It can open up communication with your father or other teachers to be better. Your 11th house, it's got, you know, there's activity, there's authority, telling you how you should party or not party or meet with other people, and that's kind of weird for you. But you want to keep it chill so you don't fly off the handle this weekend and impulsively say something you regret later on. And maybe do a little poetry or keep a journal of things that would inspire you. and inspire the world to have a better life. Because I know you're working on your spiritual karma, and you realize the ungroundedness of the whole thing called life. And thank you for joining me for this episode of the Planetary Persuader. I am Cosmic Kev, your host. And I love it when you like the video, when you share it with a friend on social media, tag somebody about it, and subscribe, ring your bell. Let's do this again next week.